Hello, welcome back to the Non-League podcast with myself, Lee Simons. I would like to thank all my guests so far who's appeared on the show. But I've got another special guest with us today. I've got Nigel Armes, the chairman of Thetford Town. Hello, Nigel. How are you?
Good afternoon, Lee. It's a fine day. Nice to hear from you.
Likewise. And how are you coping in this isolation thing at the moment?
Well, strangely enough, the sort of day before the isolation, I was becoming retired or finished my contract with my current job. So
right.
It's sort of been good training, really, for retirement. And the weather's been fantastic. So the garden's looking great. Painting's looking progressing. But I do feel for those people that are in the cities and in flats and restricted accommodation. We're lucky where we live.
Most definitely, Nigel. It's nice to have a little garden just to sit outside, do the gardening and cut the grass and then just enjoy the weather, really.
Correct, 100%.
Definitely. But for people who don't know you, Nigel, can we just have a little introduction from yourself about how you got started in football?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm 61 years old, so it might be a long introduction.
Okay.
But I was born and bred in Thetford, in fact, geographically Vicarage Road. So I'm very much a Thetfordian. So are my parents. They've been in Thetford all their lives. And how did I get in football? A good question. Being in Vicarage Road, I was literally about 300 or 400 yards away from Munford Road.
Okay.
My father used to, he wasn't interested in football at all.
Oh, right.
But he liked his gardening and he had an allotment on the Munford Road.
Oh, yes.
And I used to go up there and I didn't mind the gardening and helping him, but I would prefer to watch the football going on opposite. So in them days, we went through the far entrance and there was a lot of people, in the far stand. But that was the old Eastern Counties League. I was, no higher than a grasshopper. And the guys always looked big and strong in that league. And it was a different style of football. It was a lot of blood and guts, basically. And some really hard men play football, fast, furious stuff.
Oh, right.
And the pitches weren't so good.
No.
And the facilities weren't as good, but they were true sportsmen. And I enjoyed watching that. And football really started to me to when I was at last year of Norwich Road School, and we really went and played, remember Queensway, up at the Rec on one night, and I still got the photograph, and my mates, Andy Debenham, John Watson, Steve Mickellick, Andrew Label, name a few, were in that team, and I think I got the buzz for football at that point, and then when I went to secondary modern school,
yes.
Stanley Forth, I participated in the sport. One of my teachers at the time was a guy that basically was involved with Harling.
Okay, yeah.
And, basically, at sort of 15, I was only 15, he said, right, come across to East Harling. Mm-hmm. And that's where I played in football. I played one game for Thetford, and that was Thetford Miners, when I was 15. Yeah. And I went across to Harling, and I tend to be a person that tends to stick with things. I hate letting, I prefer to stick with a project, and I was at Harling from 16 to roughly about 28.
Okay.
Played a lot of games there. Les Easter, there was Mel Brown, who was another character in football. So, it was Martin Eales was the teacher at the time. A lot of people, probably my generation, remember him.
Okay.
And Peter Edwards. Martin was a good cricketer, not only a good cricketer, a good footballer. He went to Matlock teacher training, and I tried to get in there, but I failed, unfortunately. But so football really goes back to East Harlem for me as a Thetford lad playing out there.
Yeah.
Connection to Thetford, long story, got married. Had two fantastic boys, Henry and Patrick.
Yep.
Henry's now 37. And one day when I finished playing football, I remember him going up the Admiral's Way School to see some mates, and they wanted to start a team.
Okay,
and, I was in there, and I sort of started coaching as you did in them days. And we formed a team which was under 11s, but in them days they were like a 2-year gap. You know, you're allowed 2 years. So we played under 11 football as 9, 10-year-olds, and then there was a group above that were under 11s. And funny enough, my boy played in there, and a young man called Daniel White was with me as well.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Amongst a few other very good historic footballers. Danny Hughes was there, and everyone will remember Gary Hughes as a footballer, a very, very good footballer.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a lot of my generation, boys, coming through then at 9, 10 years old. So we had a great team. Stephen Harley was another player that played good football. And I started coaching them. It was quite interesting, really, because you didn't have to have badges in them days and all that sort of thing. But eventually it came in. Took them through to 16s. And then a lot of the players in that era did then go to West Suffolk College. My boy was at Cambridge United. Danny was at Cambridge United. And then he went on to this, if I remember rightly, under 18s.
Oh, wow.
So we split a team up, but then it was myself and Lee Brooks done an 18-year-old side.
Okay.
Which we were in the under 17 league, and we were second at the end of the season. They were first on goal difference, and we sort of merged to form an under 18 side, and it was a very good side. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Smudgy Smith, Brooksy, Paul Snowden, he was there as well. There was quite a few players that you would recognise from the generation of Danny White.
Okay.
So then that was under Thetford Town Football Club, obviously.
Yes.
I was just a manager and a coach under 18s. And then basically I went out and started again. I went and done mini soccer again.
Okay,
when those lads passed on.
Yeah.
I guess in that generation, I was blessed with seeing Sam Bond.
Yes.
So Sam Bond joined me at about 7 or 8 years old, and the story went through again. And, you know, when we talk about Sam Bond, he's a great mate, and at the same time, I got a lot of time for Sam, having been through sharing his life from about 8 years old right the way through to under 18 football again,
yes,
and working with the seniors. So I got involved with Thetford Town in a proper way, I think mainly because there was a change of guard. You know, Bob Richards was chairman at the time. Mick had been chairman, Mick Bailey before.
Yeah.
And eventually I was asked if I wanted to be a chairman. I think that was 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And took on the job.
Yeah.
And there was a lot to be done. And there still is always a lot to be done.
Of course, yeah.
The football side, if we look back 5 years ago, we see what the pitch was like. We saw the facilities were terrible. And I think we've come a long way in them 5 years.
Yes.
But it's thanks to people like Dave Skip, Jackie Skip, Michael Flars, who does the pitch, Trevor Coleman, who comes up there and does match days, Paul Fiddy. A lot of the committee have apologised. Laurel Fansett does the treasurer's jobs. Steve and Emma does the bar. It takes an effort of non-playing staff to make sure there is games up there.
Definitely.
Not only for the first team, reserves, vets, and the ladies. And it was always the first team I want to put on was a vets team. Thanks to Jamie McGill. That started, and Dave Thurl, and so we moved on with the football, and it's been interesting, but it's been a journey.
Definitely.
And where I go from being a chairman in the long term, I'd like to see some success for the club. We all play football to win.
Definitely, yeah.
If someone said in the current situation that's not the right attitude, but as we know, the club had done so much in the last 2 weeks. The players, the club, the supporters, helping out in the community with vital cash and supplies. So the club is at the heart of it is a caring club.
Yes,
but it's lovely to see if we could turn that into a winning club as well, because
exactly,
the community, they come together when there's winners. I'm afraid that's a fact of life. I supported Manchester United as a young lad because they're a winning team. I support, for my Arsenal fans, I've always supported Tottenham. But it comes out of being looking at successful teams at the time, playing a style.
Yeah.
But the number one club locally is obviously Thetford Town. Born and bred there.
Of course,
schooled there, lived there all my life. I just live outside Thetford now, but my heart is there.
Well, when I come to Thetford about 9-10 years ago, I didn't really know about much of the area at all because I lived in like Claydon near Ipswich, and when I moved,
I know Claydon well. I know Claydon very well.
when I moved here, it was like I got asked if I wanted to go and watch a pre-season friendly with Thetford against Norwich City, like 11 team. I think Brian Gunn was the first team manager.
I remember I was there. Brilliant.
So I went along to that. I thought, well, it was not too bad. I didn't think of anything of it. There was a good crowd, which turned up, and then after I never thought about going back. But in the last couple of years, I think it was in 2017. I think the brother-in-law asked me on like a Tuesday night or Wednesday night. I can't really remember, and he said, "Oh, do you want to go along to watch Thetford against Great Yarmouth?" All right, okay, why not? Let's go down because it's only down the road for me, 5 minutes away. So I thought, why not go along? And then kind of, it was good. Well, it was good to go and see a game because I never thought about going to it. And then, of course, the team won 4-2 against Yarmouth. I think, as I was saying, Ross Bailey scored a couple of goals, and I can't remember who else scored. And then I went to the next game, which we played Cotteshall Town. And then we won that one as well, 3-2. And then I just kept on going. And because I can't make all the games because of work commitments and other things going on. But in the last couple of seasons, especially this season, went for the void season. And then the season before, we went to a couple of home and away games. I know we got to the 2 cup finals as well. One against Brantford and then one against Dereham the following season at Currow Road. And we took quite a lot of fans there.
Yeah, we did, and that was a great day, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. And you're right. I mean, I used to, in part of my work, we used to have a box at Norwich City Football Club. I used to take my boys up to Tottenham. But do you know what? I honestly, being with, I hate to say it, but normal people that come up for the right reasons to watch any amateur game, enjoy the raw talent, because you see some fantastic goals.
Oh, definitely,
you see a lot of effort.
Definitely.
And you certainly get a few characters in the stands that, you think, oh my God, I wish you would say that. But at the end of the day, it's real people.
Yes.
And you tend to, I'm not a hypocrite, but I used to go to professional games and enjoy it.
Yes.
But I honestly would say that if I went to a professional game, I think it's predictable. It looks predictable.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the amateur game. I think more people, I hate to say it, if they, I don't want to say drop professional football, but gave local football a bit more time.
Yes.
I think that would, we need the numbers in. I always say that we need 150 through our gate week on a home game, definitely, to make ends meet. But it's not a lot to ask 150 people from Thetford or even surrounding areas to come and watch an Eastern Counties League Prem side.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I think people will be shocked. Yeah, we have our bad days, and you walk off and say, "Oh, crap, we're absolutely terrible." But there's other times when you talk about Elliot Gibson's goal away at Haverhill, if I remember right. What a cracking goal!
Exactly.
Max, I've watched him score some cracking goals. Bolt, I call him some cracking goal. You just can't believe it. And then you think, why am I going to track all the way up to Tottenham?
Yeah,
to have
definitely.
a predictable game that, we should win this.
Yeah.
You walk away, we didn't win it. What was the excitement about it? Playing your ball right across the back 10 times before we even entered the midfield, I think there's a lot to be said for football, and you feel part of the community as well.
Oh, definitely. Especially when I'm taking videos, say, of the game, and you put them on Twitter or social media, the views I get, especially the first goal, what I recorded, which was Ross Bailey's cracking goal against Framingham Town. And I know Ross has already got it already pinned to his wall. I think it's still there. I think it's got over 5,000 views. I think something silly like that.
It was a cracking goal, but we loved the goal. But his face was absolutely like shock.
Yeah, it was.
He doesn't get that many goals. It's a bit like anyone. If you're a centre forward, you expect to score. But if you're a centre half, left back, you don't get them. I remember Andrew Cusack cracking one in, and that was the right end on that occasion. But it was a cracking goal.
Oh, definitely.
Just trying to think where it was now. At Gorston, if I remember rightly.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, what a cracking goal. I remember last season, a few goals that Volta scored. And
definitely.
You thought, crikey, it took the net off.
Yeah.
But sometimes you suddenly go back into it and he blasts it 100 yards over the top. But that's the sort of guy he is. When he's on form, he'll hit the crap back of the net. When he's not on form, he'll look like he's trying to hit aircraft out of the sky.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, I think local football is. I'm quite happy going up there, seeing guys that I share the town with and have a drink with and watch a game of football. I think it's fantastic, and it's not expensive either from a point of view of
definitely.
supporters.
Especially if you go to like Norwich City or Ipswich, that's like 30 to 40 quid, isn't it? But when you want to go to like say Thetford, of course, it's under £10. Even if you want to go to Mildenhall, it's under £10. You've got, I know you got other clubs like Montford just down the road as well. I know that's for free, but they've got some quality players down there. As I say, I know Stowmarket have spent quite a lot of money last season, but they deserve to go up into the next level and then just fight it off.
Well, I think, Lee, I agree with you. I mean, we did have a chat as chairmen, an idea to the league, and I know what they've agreed. Yeah. I can understand why they agreed, but my personal opinion was that, say, that Stowmarket should have went up. No relegation.
Exactly, yeah.
That's a negative a game,
Yeah.
Gorson could have won 4 games on the trot and been out of the relegation zone.
Yeah, they could have.
Stowmarket had the form that they weren't. And then Mel Barton would have come up just to wear the space. But it's a lot more complicated that we've got above the tiers above, we've got the tiers below. Yeah. So I think the complication and the appeals that might have caused, especially where you got 2 teams chasing, might have been a very complex situation. So we just got to accept. I feel sorry for Stowmarket. I mean, I've said openly, if someone wants to put that sort of money into our club and we win the league, we would accept it. But I haven't experienced. When I went to Harling, it was a lovely club. Mel Brown came across, put lots of money in, and won leagues and got County Cup final. But when they go, you haven't got a club.
No, you haven't.
They go. Your players all go, and because they're probably coming in for the money rather than the passion of playing for their town or with their friends or the club. So it's a risk you take. I think Kings Lynn is a good example that they
definitely
kept putting the money in. They progressed and they want to progress. That's slightly different, but a small town, without saying we haven't got any ambition, that's not true. But the money involved is quite unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely.
When start from.
Yeah, definitely. When we're going back from like last season, which was void, I thought we were quite good in pre-season. I know there was a couple of games which didn't mean anything, but they looked all together. Danny had them ticking over, I thought, and then when we started the first game of the season against Walsham, right at home, we got that 2-1 win, and then I thought, here we go, this could be a good season for us.
Yeah, I think it was. I personally, it was like success of doing the Norfolk Senior Cup final, and we played absolutely well. So my heart was so proud of them boys in that game. We didn't deserve to lose it, full stop.
No, definitely not.
I think beginning of last season, mentally, we were still at Carrow Road.
Yeah.
Partly. We thought we'd made that level. And in football, every season starts a game.
Yes.
You can't carry out anything over That's why great teams are great teams. If they do things year on year, they're great teams. But very like Leicester City, they won the league, but next year nothing spectacular because it's difficult to maintain. It's about mental attitude as well. You haven't made it. You're only as good as your last game. So your first game back or first game after a win, you just got to start again. And I've learned that over years that I suppose being a younger man player, you think, oh, great, I'm brilliant. We won the last 5 games. And then your mental situation softens and that physically affects the game. And then you're gaining another cycle of trying to get the wins back. So, I've known Dan a lot of years, and Robbie's dad. They're great people, and Dan's a great football brain. Been one of the best players, I think, in our area for decades, to be actually honest with you. My oldest boys with Cambridge United with him. My lad got pro forms, and unfortunately Dan didn't, simply because of his size, which seemed wrong at the time. But no, Dan has always had that, and I always pull his leg, but I coached him, all those little sneaky things that he does. But he's a great lad, and I hope at some point in time he gets him back involved with Thetford Town Football Club. Because I'd be the first to say, it might not be as manager, but it might be in another role, because he's very good with the younger players.
Oh, definitely,
The younger players look up to him because he's such a talent still. But unfortunately, it's like I was always getting old, so...
Yeah, but I did feel sorry for him going into like that season. Well, last season, he get that first win, and then it kind of went downhill. I think there was like 12 defeats or something. We didn't win in 12 games, and then I think he took it on the chin that it wasn't going the way he wanted to go, and then he decided to leave. Yeah,
well, I honestly do believe it. I mean, I'll say I'm very friendly with Dan. I've known him for a lot of years, got a lot of time for him. The pressure was on him. It was on me. It was on a lot of people. And I think he did the right thing at the time. And I owe him a debt because, I find it very difficult to have the conversation with Saki.
Yeah.
That would be a very difficult conversation with me. So, at the end of the day, he done the right thing, and he saved me a lot of embarrassment, and I'm eternally thankful for him seeing the light and having a rest from the game.
Yeah.
He'd lost the love a little bit of the game, and I only spoke to him this week again, and he's back buzzing. So,
that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. So hopefully we can at some point in time attract him back into the fold. To get involved with the club. We've got other teams, we've got reserves, we've got under 18s hopefully this year.
Yes.
He'll hopefully be playing for the vets, so they are a great bunch of lads as well. And have someone like him about, he makes people laugh. I mean, I've known his father all the time, going up and down motorways with him when they were sort of 14, 15, with Cambridge United, and it honestly... the journeys are so quick because Rob is just cracking jokes and messing about all the time. So, so hopefully, we can attract him back. But at the moment, obviously 100% behind Matt, and I've had a chat with him, Jay Dennis, Craig, Bibby and Toddy. So I think we're all out for that for next season. And obviously looking to... get a better season where we get a few more wins in, because
definitely.
That's what the game was about.
Exactly. When I thought Matt come in, because it was against his old club as well, against Walsh and the Willows away from home, he come in and on that night he actually got the win, and then kind of went on a undefeated streak. I think they only lost a couple of games under Matt. Of course, he brought in a new fresh new start, didn't he? Really.
Yeah, well, Matt has got a lot of respect with players. He's run Gym United. I think he understands the problems of running a football club with all the problems of paperwork, officialism, all this sort of thing you have to go through these days. You know, it's just not like turn up, play football, and he's respectful that way. He's a clever lad as well. He runs his own business.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
He's a good, solid type of manager. Right?
Yes.
Another player, he won't thank me saying this, but I've had a word with him. You know, he's in his 30s now, so if he keeps fit, you know, he'll play on. But he knows that, you know, he's got to go to the next level, and it's either management, and then after management, perhaps he might want my job. But he's the sort of guy that I think has it in him. He loves football.
Yes, he does. Yeah,
he's passionate about it. Like in his interview, you know, he weren't brought up around football from
No.
the point of view of school, but his father, being a Prem ref, made him look at and enjoyed it. And he's passionate about winning. You know, I guarantee you, when he went on the great run, right, that was Matt at his best. When we started sinking back into a few bad ways,
yeah,
he was more frustrated than anyone else what was going wrong. And unfortunately, I'm not the easiest chairman because I have played, I have coached, I have managed, and I tread on his toes sometimes, right? And if anyone saw me at Ely, I apologise for that, but I thought I was running the team, getting back into my management role. But I think sometimes we do need that leadership, and I was a great fan of Norman Hunter. I come from that era, and it is slightly different these days, and I have to accept that. But, you know, I think at the end of the day, I always appreciate good football. But in our league, sometimes the Histons have gone up, they thumped the ball up, got a big guy, score the goals, defend hard. And you know, we play some super football under Danny.
yeah.
And sometimes we didn't get the reward for playing that football.
No, definitely not. No, you're right there. It's like the games against Clacton away when we had the 5-5 game.
Yeah,
that was just unbelievable. That had kind of everything going on in that game. And mistakes. It had red cards. It had free kicks. And no, I thought that was an entertaining game, but you know, that's where the wins and draws, loses in football are. But then you go to Ely City. I always go back to Ely City on that game. It was, you know, they really dug in deep in that game. We were 2-0 down, and when Johnny Conway scored that goal just before half time, you can see them believing in themselves just before half time, and then they come out and they scored the equaliser, and of course then Tanner scored the winner right at the death, making it 3-2. And of course, you know, I think we might have gone on a little bit of a run. You never know what would have happened. Yeah.
Well, like I said to you, it's a mental game. It is about ability, but there's so much with psychology in the game, even at a low level. You know, if you're winning, you've got confidence to go and do things. If you're losing, you actually sink lower and lower, and you need a change. And that's why, unfortunately, management gets the first blame rather than the players. But a lot of it really originates from the players, but they're younger. And this is the thing about age. You know, I look at a game completely different to a youngster would. And, you know, if you come watch our vets, it's good to watch because they don't sprint around the place and dive around the place. They play absolute lovely football to the feet. And it's an age, it's about maturing. And that's why clubs have players, have managers, and have chairmen. So at the end of the day, there's 3 generations there. And if you all click, then hopefully you have a successful club.
Exactly.
So,
But hopefully so hopefully for the next season, what is the aim for next season? What are the targets for yourself, really, as chairman of the club?
Well, this is really selfish. Firstly, I always like to see a financially secure club.
Yeah.
That's most important to me, and that's going to be difficult this year with so much hardship going on around, not only people in businesses, but individuals as well. Yeah. So that's going to be hard, but I'm hoping that the time we put our letters out to the sponsors and what the club's done generally in the community in the last month might make quite a few people that are in the town saying, I'll sponsor them. They're a good bunch and we need a football club. So
Definitely.
that's one priority. That's totally selfish. Second one, I'd love to get back to Carrow Road and put my hands on that cup.
Oh, definitely,
the Senior Cup final. I mean, I think it's a cup we can win.
Yes.
And to me, I enjoyed that run more than anything in probably my life. East Harlem, I went there once in the Junior Cup final. Unfortunately, I had a broken ankle, so it wasn't the same. But to be out there meant a lot. So I would love to repeat that experience. The league, I'd love to go and watch games thinking we're going to win this, and we haven't got to worry about the bottom six, pushing in that top six, and clubs coming to us and fearing playing for us, and us having the mental ability to use that, where clubs come and say, well, this team is, in the top six, well, we've got to defend well, and they defend rather than attack, and turn the tide a little bit, so, obviously winning the league would be absolutely fantastic, but as a chairman, it would be, well, where do we go from here? We've won the league, but we need massive resources to survive at the top of the league, and then all of a sudden it could be round your ankles again.
Yes.
So, I'm a realist to a certain degree. I have to say that success would be cup first, stability, maybe finding another sponsor that's into football and helping us if we were to go up to a higher level. And a town our size should have football like Dereham, like Needham.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
we should have that level of football. So, but it does need financial assistance and in upgrading some of the facilities we already have. But at the same time, you would have to pay. You would have to be on contract players. So that's just a whole new world from where we are paying travel expenses to boys. So we have to look at these things.
I bet you do, especially with the team or as a club. I think it's quite really good that you've got a first team, you've got the reserve team in there at the moment. You're now looking to do the under-18s as well. You've got the vets team, you've got the ladies team. I believe you're doing an under-16 ladies team as well. Is that right?
Yeah, Dave is trying to get that going. Dave Skipp's done a lot with the ladies football.
Yeah.
Sort of energising that in the town. Under-18s, we've got a team that is coming from Bulldogs really at 16s at the moment. What we're hoping is we want to get into the Thurlow Nunn under-18 league.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And unfortunately, we have got a bit of a patchy history on that one, where we put teams in and then had to fold them. And unfortunately, a couple of times we had teams that have misbehaved. So, but I think that has gone from the club now. We have a lot better structure. And when I was doing the under-18s with Lee Brooks, and secondly with Mark Bolton, and Ian Hassey, the number one thing you have to have with under-18s is massive discipline.
Yes, definitely.
You really have to have massive discipline. You need big characters and big managers that aren't timid, and I'm not timid in the change room. The boys know that. So at the end of the day, you got to earn that respect from your 16. I was talking to a guy called Alex Rowe, who used to play for me under 18s. Great ability. In his own words, he was a nightmare though mentally. And he's 32 now, and he's working hard, and he's got his first child on the way, and he's got his mortgage. And I said, "You've changed." And he said, "Yes, I have changed," and I realised what a pain I was. So you got to get them youngsters through that 15 to 18, 19-year-old, and then they're hopefully ready for the first team. But we're just hoping the Thurlow Nunn lets us in.
Most definitely, yeah, definitely.
There's quite a few teams that aren't in the Thurlow Nunn league in that. We've been in that league, and support that league. I just hope they squeeze us in and we can have another shot at under 18s.
Exactly, definitely. Another side of it, especially with social media, with myself, and of course you got Joe and Kevin doing the YouTube channel as well. How do you feel that the social media is going for the club, especially with like us two doing bits and pieces. You got like other teams doing it, like the Woodpecker TV. You got Stowmarket TV as well. Is that I personally for me? I think it's a good thing because you're getting your players, you're getting your clubs like out there and showing what the qualities, the amateur game have.
Well, I tend to agree with Lee. I mean, social media is great when you use it in the right way. I'm absolutely bloody useless at Facebook, Twitter, and all that sort of thing. But I do follow it, and I will put things on. And then when the boys say, "Well, I didn't get it," and then they'll fiddle around my phone and say, "You got this set and wrong," and everything else. But what you do, what Joe and Kevin do, and I add to that Simon Staines, who's brilliant at getting our media out to more conventional papers, etc.
Definitely.
And I'm putting him under a bit of pressure, but he's told me he'd think about doing the website, so getting that all. And, so with you three bodies there, the people that can't make the games, whether they be old and, can't get to the games, or they're Thetfordians that might be living hundreds or thousands of miles away, it brings it so much closer. And, but there's something about still being live at a game and having a pint with your friends and having a laugh and having a joke that the media can't capture. No. But it is certainly a good tool for the players to watch their game, managers to look at the shape of the team and Craig to look at the shape, and us to be amused by the funnies. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a great tool to have, and I quite enjoy it. My dear wife, I watched the game, and on Sunday, I'm watching the game again. Gets quite annoyed. She said, "How many times do you have to watch this game?" I said, "I just want to watch that goal, or how we conceded." Like Will Viner must have watched his sending off 50 times, and I was convinced it wasn't a sending off, but we appealed against, and it still didn't go. We didn't win. But you'll never be a yellow or red card unless you can send whatever you want. But the interpretation of the laws are always stacked against the player, in my opinion. But there you go. But
definitely.
Thumbs up for media. Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. That's good to hear because with the players, going back with the players, I'm getting like 5,000 to 4,000 views, even on a pre-season game. What we played against Lakenheath. I had a guy called Reece Clark message me saying, "Oh, can I have my footage?" I said, "Yeah, no problem." So he got over like 5,000 views. He's probably like 3,000 of the views anyway. So, which is quite good. But so hopefully we can continue next season in doing it whenever that is. Really.
Well, it's like talking about media again. I mean, there's players my era now. Mick Money, for instance, I think he posted a couple of games of his Wembley appearance that someone had obviously converted from a cine camera onto the phone, and he's obviously around at my age, and he's proud of what he's achieved. And instead of getting all the old photographs, team photographs and reminiscence, in these boys, they're able to have the film of them playing, which that would have never happened in my generation or the next generation. But this current generation is, they've got something for the nostalgia bit of football.
Oh, definitely, Nigel, definitely. Yeah. But I'm going to end it there, Nigel. I really thank you for joining me on this podcast. And for everyone listening, thank you very much for listening to Nigel and myself. And hopefully I'll see you on the next one.